I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your bullish bit brought to you by Seedor.io, one of the most beautifully designed and robust options when it comes to backing up your seed phrase in solid steel. You can check them out at the links down below. Bitcoin is kind of this free market of ideas, but it filters through those ideas very efficiently, and it allows those that offer the most signal for people to gravitate towards those types of products and services and events and so on and so forth. You know, obviously there's a wide kind of array of different Bitcoiners, and there's going to be always like the super hardliners that like make zero compromises. And then there's going to be, I mean, I guess at the far opposite end is going to be like the crypto people, right? So we'll go with that. But like, there's a pretty big spectrum there. Now, what I'm kind of bullish on is the hardliners that make absolutely no concessions. And why I say that isn't because that I agree in every single respect. When you see the people that are constantly kind of on top of those things saying like, hey, this is a trade-off. This is a trade-off. This is a trade-off. When you see stuff like that in and around the messaging that's put forward, what it does is it shifts a person that maybe would have been, I'm just going to leave my Bitcoin on Coinbase. It shifts that person to thinking, maybe I should self-custody, or maybe I'm going to use like, I was just sitting it on an exchange, but maybe now like I want to use my Bitcoin. So maybe like I'll have a kind of in between. Maybe I'm using like a custodial Lightning wallet, but my savings are in cold storage. And so it takes everybody where they were, and it shifts them a little bit more self-sovereign when you get kind of those extremes of self-sovereignty being getting a megaphone and saying like, guys, let's put in a little bit more elbow grease here and try and do more to be resistant to like top-down coercion and confiscation and censorship. And the same applies to just in general to Bitcoin content, to Bitcoin devices and apps, you know, when it comes to things like being open source, when it comes to things like all of the features and the bells and whistles that you might want out of a wallet and like the trade-offs that certain devices and wallets might make. And it also comes to that when it comes to events and conferences and speakers and all that kind of stuff. Over the entirety of the space, you're going to have a range. But what those voices that really try and hone in on signal and make no exceptions do is that Overton window gets shifted in a good direction. And it doesn't mean that you need to agree on every single point with the most extreme of those voices, but it does mean the middle of that window goes towards self-sovereignty and more thoughtfulness when it comes to what they use and where they go and the way that they communicate Bitcoin to others and where they direct them when it comes to devices, apps, content, events, whatever it is.